All right. I'm rather dumbfounded this morning. It was after coming back from my walk today, actually even yesterday, I was rather same. Just like, what? Seriously? It's incredible that at a time when people are deathly afraid to die from a virus, that at the same time, people are so elaborately, hello spider, elaborately celebrating death. And, you know, I come from the perspective of a child and how incredibly confusing this must be for them. We'll come back to that in a second, but really, so there's a thing going around in the world, some claim to be deadly and all that kind of stuff, and yet, so what I've seen in the neighborhood is mental. It's mental. And look, it's not a judgment on people having fun and expressing themselves and whatever. It's just an observation that, you know, at a time when death is such a big deal and there's such a great fear of it, that actually we're celebrating it now. And what I'm seeing is tombstones. I've never seen this before. I've been out of Canada for years and years. I was here last year. However, I didn't see it. I wasn't going out as I do now, like regularly walking sort of thing, whatever. But like, people have converted their front lawns into graveyards, complete with tombstones, complete with skeletons, whole skeletons hanging from trees, or skulls, blood, signage, do not enter. It's this. I'm having such a hard time finding a word. It's such a contradiction. And you've got to, like, we've got to look at the symbology of it. We have to, because that's so super relevant, you know. I mean, I'm just gonna take as an example. You know, you see somebody who's covered from their head to their toe in their sort of ethnic attire, their garb, and all you see is their eyes. I know me, I've made the judgment before that, like, the first word that comes to my mind is oppression, right? So that garb symbolized to me that person is oppressed, right? And whether that's true or not, I have no idea. It's not my place to make that judgment. It's just what they wear, period. It's like my father, you know, he wears a turban, and surely he's judged for that. Because it's a symbol of something. Perhaps to some people, it's a symbol of terrorism, you know. And even further, both my parents, Sikh and baptized, carry a small dagger with them, because that's one of their 5 symbols, once again, that shows that they are in full sort of coherence with their religion. And to others, I mean, to me, I don't practice their religion, and you know, I have my reservations about that symbol, and what it means for me. So these things matter. Symbolism it's big, and it's so subconscious, and this is where I'll go to the children, because especially for the kids who are like around 7 and 8 years old and under, in their formative years, who have zero filter, the 0 to 2, zero filter. I'm just taking it all in, taking, accepting, whatever. Show them anything, and it's true. It's just, it's in. Good is bad, bad is good, whatever. It's all accepted. Because there's no analytical skills, there's nothing. Children in their formative years. So you've, like, I've talked about this before. There was the example of the a school in America where there's a classroom and they're kitting it up with, you know, all kinds of technology. They're going to have these smart, further along than like smart, like an iPad. They've got smart desks, which are, you know, fully integrated and like an iPad, but it's an iDesk sort of thing. And, you know, the story that I've told before is about a child you know, teachers like, so we're going to do this thing. And when you hit a certain number, let's just say, I'm absolutely paraphrasing. When you hit a certain number, then, you know, we're going to send a food package to a child who is you know, suffering in a different country, in the third world, let's say. And the child says, but if we've already got the food, why don't we just send it to them now? Right? Like, why do I have to do something? If we've got the food, and that's how a child thinks. So a child right now, I can only imagine, pardon my vulgarity here, the fucked upness that they are experiencing in their precious sweet minds about what's going on right now. They go to school and they wear masks, restricting the flow of clean, pure oxygen coming in, restricting the flow and maintaining the carbon dioxide. Whew. All because the fear of dying. And here we are, we have the audacity to convert, to parade death. Okay, me and my perspective on death, completely different, completely. We're eternally mortal beings. You know, when I have a heart attack or whatever I do, if I die right here, right now, you see my body like slump over, but my spirit is right here. That's different, whole different conversation. But a child who's being programmed and indoctrinated, what are we saying to them? What's the message right now, actually? You're going to cover up like one of the most important parts of your body in the name of a virus that's purported to be deadly. But then there's so much. You cannot excuse the alternative ideas. That can't be done. That's like saying, you know, I mean, why does alternative medicine exist? Alternatives exist because the one way wasn't good enough. All right, so let's get over our egos and like just come to the middle and look at fuck, man, look at the kids. Pardon me, I'm sorry, but holy crap, like this is all about the children. Holy smokes, this makes me so angry. Man, we screw them up so bad. You know, there's a beautiful child. There's a YouTube video of a child whose mom so graciously converses with him. He's having a meal. I don't know how old he is. He's able to converse. He's talking so quite clearly, in fact. But this child's eating dinner and talking a lot. And he's eating octopus and potatoes. And he asks his mom, I can't remember exactly, but you get the gist of it. And he says to his mom, isn't an octopus an animal? She says, yes. And you can see his cogs rolling. You can see it all. but an animal is alive. You know, he says stuff like that's really, really profound. But an animal is alive. And then, you know, but then you see him looking at the octopus and well, that one's not alive. And he says, just Mom, I don't want to eat that. I don't want to eat animals. You know, and this isn't a debate about like plant-based veganism, or I don't care what you eat. You know, what I'm wanting to say right now is that a child, if it knows that it's eating an animal, will say no. Like it just in my, I've seen it when a child makes sense of what's on their plate and what's at the zoo, they don't want to eat it anymore. But what do? We disguise it. We disguise the animal, cut it up into small pieces, we blend it, we do this, we do that, so that they get their protein. What if someone did that to you? You don't want to eat that thing because it was alive, because its heart was beating, because it had eyes, because it had babies. And someone just tricks you, just fools you, covers it with, you know, batter, deep fries it, all in the name of protein or whatever. Should. I'm going to put another video. I'm going to link that child. I'm going to link something. It's a video called by an incredulous woman, incredible woman. I believe she's a psychiatrist named Melanie Joy. And she runs something called Beyond Carnism, Why We Eat Meat. Again, this is not about like plant-based or whatever. I don't care. Be happy with what you eat, but no, just, but we do that, right? And how do we do that to a child? How do we trick them? Because, well, we've been tricked. That's what someone did to us in the name of health. When you start to question all these things, when you've you know, only drank water for 21 days and not died, and then done it 4 or 5 more times and not died, actually thrive, you begin to see things differently and you question a lot. So anyways, this is all about the children and how royally we screw them up. And I get it. I get how difficult it must be for parents, especially of the young ones. You know, you don't, it's not your culture, and I'm not talking about ethnicity or anything. It's not my culture to celebrate Halloween. No. It's not part of my culture. It's got nothing to do with anyone else's, you know, my parents or my sister or my neighbors or whatever. It's just not part of my culture. No, thank you. Celebrate life and light. Then, you know, let's just go there. Let's just take it a step further. It's one day of the year. It's only one day of the year. Children get to dress up and be princesses and whatever, and Dracula and you know, all that kind of stuff. And they look all cute, you know. You dress up your child as a vampire. And what's a vampire, Daddy? And then we send them out trick-or-treating, right? I can't remember what book it was from. Rob something about paleo nutrition. I read this years and years ago. I'm sorry, I can't remember. If I cannot, well, I'm sure there's going to be infinite examples of this online. But really what I wish to relay is how from that book, there was a heroin addict and recovered was able to come through it, but then got addicted to sugar and said that was way worse, way worse. So what are we doing? We're poisoning our children while we celebrate death. I'll leave it at that because I need to change. I need to go and just go step on the earth. Anyways, we're all expressing our own realities. We are. And there's nothing wrong with anything that we do. There is cause and effect, however. And when we do what's best for all, everybody wins. Everybody wins. Anyways, it's a big rant. My apologies for the vulgarities. This works me up. Children matter, all of them. Loads of love. God bless you.